Welcome to the Jamodi Podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is Jamodi, just a matter of doing it.
I don't think it's a real thing. I think yes, everybody gets this feeling of, man, do I really want to keep doing this? Like I always give the example of ice cream. I love mint chocolate chip ice cream. I could eat it every night if my wife would allow me to buy it. She doesn't. And so I don't. But let's just say I've been eating it for 2 weeks straight. There's going to come a point where I'm like, golly, another gallon of mint chocolate chip ice cream. And at that point, I just got to figure out how badly do I love it? Like, do I love it so much that I'm going to keep eating it no matter how I feel in that moment? I feel like that burnout thing, it's used as an excuse of you really don't love it as much as you thought you did, and you're realizing that, and that's okay. And just call it that. Don't use that other term. That's kind of
Yeah,
how I feel.
it can't be a crutch, and also it's the one thing, like, we talk about a ton, especially in the early practices here, is like, "Hey, guys, like, don't get me wrong, like, it's supposed to be fun, like, it's supposed to be enjoyable, all that stuff, but doing the things that winning requires, it's not a ton of fun. Winning is fun, like, winning's a ton of fun, but, like, doing the things that winning requires, not a ton of fun. Like, it's not a ton of fun. And then you'll get used to it, and all of a sudden it'll be better, and, just like you get used to anything, but, when you're first starting to carve out those habits and those standards, like, it's gonna make you question of just like, this is not super enjoyable." And it's just like, "No, it's not." Like, but you guys said you wanted to win. Like, do you wanna win or do you not wanna win?
I think you're talking about like creating that new normal. Like,
Yeah.
normal for us is we do the things that is required to win. At Midway, normal for us is we get there at 6 a.m. for an open gym where you're not just sitting there on your phone, you're training, you're doing things, you have a plan. And I had a whole PowerPoint about how they can build the workout because I realized after 4 weeks of open gym, they don't know what to do when they're here. Or only a select few do. And then we're going to lift 4 days a week where they only, used to lift a couple times. And then we're going to have skills in the athletic period. And that's 4 days a week, Friday being a little different. Guys, this is the new normal. I think they're at that point right now where maybe that's wearing on them a little bit. I don't know if it's bad if I acknowledge that. Like if I actually bring them in and say, how are you guys doing with the amount of work that you've been putting in? How's it making you feel? Like, and I don't know, what are your thoughts on just kind of creating that conversation to see where they're at?
It's tough. I feel like it's tough to create those conversations without it seeming as if you are attacking people, because, like, the only way I can think because we talk about the same stuff of, hey, if you're just not feeling it today, like, you're just not feeling, weights and, it is like whatever, and you're starting to question, like, man, if this is what being a part of a college roster is, maybe I don't want to, like, play college basketball, then you shouldn't be here. But you can't do that without it, like, being.
Don't want to just like push them
Yeah.
across the push.
So, I don't know, it's hard
Yeah.
to come up with how to talk about it without it being more of, like, you don't wanna attack guys, but at the same time, like, hey, like, if you can't muster it up to do it every day,
Yeah.
like, it might just not be for you, and that's okay.
I think acknowledging though that it's human after doing things at a high level for a certain amount of time to have those feelings of that, man, this is a lot, or I don't know if I can do it another day. Especially maybe at the high school level. Like I'm okay with them acknowledging that. Now, let's go back to what our standards are. And one of our standards is toughness. And we talked about toughness is choosing to show up a certain way every day and choosing sometimes that feel isn't real. Yeah, you may feel this way, but man, I'm gonna choose to still do the next best action, that NBA. Maybe that's kind of a way, but I wanna go back to something you said with the practice that you had where they were loose for the first 20. What did you do to make, kinda turn that to where, like, all of a sudden we're loose, we're having music to now we're getting more serious or that time has changed? What was that transition like?
So for us, it actually flowed well into what we wanted to emphasize. And so like we would do, some pre-practice if they want to get work in, the music's going, whatever. 10 minutes before we start, we do our organized team stretch, the music's still playing, guys are singing along, like whatever that may be. Then when we actually started organized stuff, it was more of a, we call it perfect passing, like a lot of passing, ball handling with some of our offensive concepts mixed in there. And then from there, we'd go to something like semi-live, like a transition drill. I mean, Biggs might be on the side getting some work in with an assistant while we're doing getting up and down. It's like 4v2, something more semi-live. And I would have to really work on it with myself to not stop it and like blow it dead because somebody did something wrong and like get mad about it. It's just like, no, like we're getting loose, like it is whatever. Then when we got to our third daily vitamin thing, that because we do the same three things pretty much every single day, and it's just things that are important to us. Because I'm a big what you water grows type of thing. Like if you want to be good at it, you need to work on it every single day, or else don't expect to be good at it. And once we got to our third thing, which is one of our main defensive drills, music stops. We're all on one end. With everything we just did, it was kind of split up. There's guys on each hoop getting work in, whatever. When we got to that first defensive segment, music's off, everybody's on one end, one drill going on, and it's now like, hey, since we're doing defense, it's complete, locked in. And it really helped feed into like, hey, like, other things we like might be a little looser. When we talk about defending our goal, it's no like music's off. Like we're locked in on that. And it actually helped. So I guess the answer is we just did it. Like we just music off and we're doing something, but it helped because it was just like it put even more emphasis on, hey, when we're talking about what we do, like we defend, everybody's locked in on it.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense to me the way you structured it, and I've always wondered, is there a better way to get them, like you kind of use the word flow, to get them in their flow? I think I'm guilty of, hey guys, class is over at 4:05, 4:15, we're going. Like practice is starting and you better be full speed. Like obviously a little warm up, but like mentally ready to go. What if I gave them a little bit more time and but to kind of find their flow, work whatever was going on in the day out, get excited again about what they're about to do, talk with each other. I'm already not a big fan of, I don't think you have to do movement prep silent. I think they can talk to each other.
Yeah.
I think the ability, like you and I could probably have a talk and then go coach a game. We don't need that much time of visualization and silence and getting in the zone. But I think something to where we could also get some touches in that time and have some conversations with players that aren't about something specific, but just more of that. How's your day? Get those touches like you talked about. Maybe in that first 20 minutes, not that it's just a free for all, but is a time where we could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I originally got the idea from the Boston University coach. I forgot his name. I think he's still there. He gave a presentation at a TABC like 2 years ago, and he said something they do to try to like let their guys kind of work out the stress of the day. And it's easier when you have the gym space is only yours and you got 7 assistants or whatever. But they always had 2 or 3 assistants on the court 40 minutes before, 40 minutes after. Like 40 minutes before, 40 minutes after. And they may want you to work on those 40 minutes before, 40 minutes after. You can have a coach help you work on what you think you need to work on. Like if I think you're not good enough to shoot, a floater in the lane, but you want to work on it, that early 40 is for you to work on it with a coach if you want to work on it. And he said that they do that to just let the guys like slowly work their way into practice. And at the same time, you're kind of, coaxing guys into getting extra work in.
Yeah.
We try to do that. It's harder because we're normally going right after another team or something like that. But we've
Yeah.
tried to implement some stuff like that. But I like kind of what you said of letting them work the day out.
I think that's a good nugget too you just shared, which is take something from another coach and maybe it all doesn't fit, but there's parts of it that fit. And I was able to being down here in Waco, able to go to a Baylor men's practice in July, and they were getting ready to go further out of the country trip. And I kind of made a note in my notes about what Coach Drew's role was. He was the CEO of that practice. He was constantly walking around. He was independent of any of the drills going on, and he would give a nugget, check his notes, check it like this. And then but then I thought, man, I think that's such a great idea. But then I started doing the math, coach, and I realized, okay, they got 8 baskets, right? And they've got 7 coaches and 9 GAs. And like the court was just full of people. It was incredibly organized. But I liked the thought of him. And so I thought, okay, with even 2 assistants, what if I did structure things in a way to where they were more in charge of these 2 things underneath my supervision, but I was more floating and not just locked into one group. But just to go back to your point of what you heard from that coach, which is that's a great nugget. Take what we learn from other guys. It doesn't have to be this exactly, but see how it works with you and your team and your gym.
Oh yeah, everything I do is just thievery. Like I've just stolen everything. No, I'm convinced I have no original ideas whatsoever.
I think my players are my here's the sad thing. So I love my 2 assistant coaches and that I have. They're younger guys right now, and they love the culture we're building and everything. And I think they believe I'm really smart. I think they think that what man, can you believe all the stuff he does and what we're saying? I'm like, I didn't make up any of this, fellas.
Yeah.
Like this is all borrowed.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the Jamodi Podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.